Wade in the water, we did. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water.
The U.S. government is wrong. The European governments are wrong. CNN is wrong. All of them have turned these pernicious lies about what's happening into Ethiopia into yet another regime change operation. And we've seen what happened in Libya, the country destroyed and divided. We've seen what's happened in Syria, the country destroyed and divided. We've seen what's happened in Yemen, what's happened in Iraq, the country's destroyed and divided. We've seen how Iran, Cuba, Venezuela have been blockaded, choked, starved to death. This is what they want to do to the nations of the Horn of Africa. Why? Why? What is the crime of Ethiopia? The crime is to seek unity in the Horn of Africa and to seek unity on the African continent. U.S. policy has actually been very consistent for the last 40 years when it comes to the Horn of Africa. Keep them divided. They've supported various people at various times. They've had various positions, but they all boil down to one thing: keep them divided. They recognize, and this is written down, you look at what the U.S. government itself writes about the world. You can look it up. It's called the National Defense Strategy. And they write in there that the U.S. must control all of the regions in the world. That the most important thing is to prevent any nations. Doesn't matter if you like the U.S., doesn't matter if you hate the U.S., but anyone who wants to think independently and act independently is a problem, and it must be prevented. And the $800 billion they spend every year at the Pentagon, that's what it's there for. To prevent people from thinking and acting independently of what the U.S. feels they should be thinking and acting. So the Horn of Africa is now really in the midst of a terrible tragedy, purely because people, not because they hate the United States. And that's what's important to recognize. That doesn't matter at all. But just wanting to think and to act independent, to lift up your own nation, to develop a nation in a way that will provide dignity for all people, that is a crime. Don't forget that it's not just the Biden administration. It's all of them since Clinton.
Now Libya is a destroyed country with a slave market in it. They said the same thing in Iraq. Saddam Hussein was killed, used weapons of mass destruction. After they destroyed the country, nothing happened. But in Ethiopia, we actually have a democratically elected government that the people love. In Ethiopia, we've had more democracy, more freedom than we've ever seen ever in our life and our history. Now, so we're not going to allow the West to put puppet regimes on us anymore, are we? No! We're not going to be silenced anymore, are we? No! This is going to be our time. And this is not just about Ethiopia. The war on Ethiopia is the war on Africa. Yes. This is about also Eritrea. Yes. The war on Eritrea, the sanctions. They've been sanctioning Eritrea for 20-something years because the Eritrean government would not bow down. Because they're...
ሰንደቅሽ ከፍ ይበል ይቁም ለዘላለም ሰላም ጥጋብ ደስታ ይታይብሻል
ለመርቅሽ ተቀበይ እማ
ሕይወትን መርቀሽ ሰተሽኝ እኔማ ይቀረኝ የምለው የሚቆጨኝ ባለም ኢትዮጵያ እድሜ ላንቺ ያላየሁት የለም አንገትሽ ራስሽን ችሎ ልየውና ማግስቱን ይውሰደኝ 10 ሞት ይምጣና ሴራው ይክሸፍበት የመጣብሽ አድማ እጁን ሳር ያድርገው ጉልበቱ ቄጠማ ካቀባበለብሽ ብረት ከደገነ አምላክ ያግዝልሽ ላንቺ የወገነ
Why? What is the crime of Ethiopia? The crime is to seek unity in the Horn of Africa and to seek unity on the African continent.
Yes.
U.S. policy has actually been very consistent for the last 40 years when it comes to the Horn of Africa. Keep them divided.
ፈተናው አይለቅ የሚፈታተንሽ አንገትሽ ራስሽን ችሎ ልየውና ማግስቱን ይውሰደኝ 10 ሞት ይምጣና በሰው ሀገር ምድር ተበተኑት ለልጆችሽ ሁኚ ዞሮ መግቢያ ቤት በዓለም አደባባይ ከመንግስታት ደጅ ሞልቶሽ ተርፎሽ እንጂ ጎሎብሽ አትጂ
My name is Dari and I am from Liberia. Ethiopia is fighting an African war, a fight that could change Africa. I stand with Ethiopia. Join the #NoMore movement.
My name is Patrick. I'm from Rwanda. Ethiopia is fighting a war that could change Africa. I stand with Ethiopia. Join the Nomore movement now.
Hello Africa, my name is Nicky. I come from Tanzania and now Ethiopia is fighting an African war, a war that can change the whole Africa. Please join a Nomore movement and support an Ethiopia.
My name is Chantal. I'm from Jamaica. Ethiopia is fighting an African war, a fight that could change Africa. I stand with Ethiopia. Join the No.
My name is Albert. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, and Ethiopia is fighting an African war, a war that could change Africa. I stand with Ethiopia. Join the Nomore movement now.
My name is Sharon Wamboi from Nairobi, Kenya. Ethiopia is fighting an African war, a fight that could change Africa. I stand with Ethiopia. Join the Nomore movement.
Cup Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Sarak. Africa needs to stand by Ethiopia. Forget the puppet presidents. Africa isn't even getting the real story of what's happening in Ethiopia because the media is controlled by Babylon. And that's how they're able to do this. They're not able to do this if they don't have the ears of the world. And
my fellow Africans, the time is now to come together and to fight against colonial power. Talking about fight, I don't mean using gun, bombs. We don't need to use violence to fight against colonial power. I'm talking about unity. Our unity is our strength. Our unity is our weapon against colonial power.